Hello everyone, Tanak here. Welcome to episode 115 of Building My Industrial Empire in EVE Online. So even if this week is the real world is getting a little bit chaotic, we're still going to do the episode in the usual format because you're here for EVE, not for my opinion on current events. So let's go with that for now. As you can see, my net worth plus that of the corporation is now at 278 billion ISK. If you want to look at the tracker here, it's a good little climb compared to last week. We can see it in more detail in that chart here. So you can see that Tanak climbed by about 1.5 bill. I ratted a lot at the beginning of the week. The last 2 days I haven't been playing EVE because I've been just doing one Crusader King 3 game because sometimes you need to take a little time off. So that was it, and when it's calm a little bit, I can do a more end-off approach, and the guys are okay to manage everything. Even if it's when it's complex, the guys are okay to manage stuff. But I use the time to take a little break. Toy company progressed significantly. The reason we did climb like this is we got some donation from members for stuff that they wanted to add that they wanted us to add to our existing high hubs and structures. So we did get a few donation, which count for about almost 3 bill in that amount of money. The rest is, well, ratting and everything else, basically. So good week, like very good week, plus 10 bill that week. Again, it's at that point I'm no longer really, I'm tracking it like for the sake of continuity, but it's like my biggest worry as a CEO. Well, it's not really worried because I'm not worried right now, but the biggest thing I will come to look at week after week is the amount of liquid ISK in our different wallet, like our SRP wallet, our corp, our basic corp fund, our stash in case we need something to be bought and stuff like that. And we're doing pretty well in liquid ISK. So, and I mean, well, we're doing well enough. Again, we're not old money like some other alliance in game. And Wamp has always been run kind of in a libertarian kind of way, where we're very much small government. Wamp doesn't manage too much stuff at the corporate level, and we want our member to be happy and to make money. That's always been my goal, is not to get rich on the work of other member in the corp. The goal is for each individual member to be able to thrive in the game, and that's going on pretty well. So that's why you see that when we need money, like individual member don't mind contributing, because we didn't bleed them dry in the past, and we've always respected their asset. So kind of goes both ways, and that social contract in Wamp is pretty good. So again, I think the results speak for themselves. But anyway, it's still a very, very good progression. So can't complain there. Now, HR here. You can see that we're at 436 members. So that's -1 compared to last week. But that's because we did a member cleanup. So we did actually get some new member this week, and we're still recruiting, we're still averaging a good number of member every day. But again, with attrition and everything, Wamp has always been a corp that clean its inactive member. I don't want to have a large number on paper and not being able to fill that. Again, a better indication is that number here, the number of active character in PvP, and you can see that it is growing. We're now at 86 active last week, so it's climbing week after week. The biggest we've had when I think the top we've ever had was around 120 when we were in pure blind. So we're almost back to we're getting back to our number that we had at our height in pure blind. And I would say that this number is much more significant now because we got a lot more of involved player active on com, more skill, more experience. The guy know what they're doing, better coordinated, and we're still new bro friendly. We'll still take younger characters, show them the rope, and integrate them in our group. But our core number of PvP are improving and are getting better, and it does show. I mean, and I'm a good example of that with my number of skill point. I was around like 40 mil skill point in the pure blind era, and I'm now at 70 mil skill point. So it does show in the number of skill a ship that we can fly, and also the experience. The guys know a little more how, like, what will work, what won't work, and you can see it also in our result. Generally speaking, all-time count, everything from when we were pure new bro around the Avenger area, where we had very little PvP experience, me as a CEO and the corp in general, because we had a lot of people that joined me at the start that were mostly industrial player. And now we're at the point where we're a much more well-rounded as player. A lot of our guys still do industry and still enjoy it a lot, but the PvP aspect of it, we're more experienced, and we perform better under those circumstances. So again, this HR, I'm very happy with the way things are going right now. War. It's been relatively, dare I say the C word, it's been relatively calm this week. There was one big battle in Immensea last weekend, again for a high up timer, where we went again to help Triumvirate that is trying to push into Immensea. It ended up being like a huge tie-dye fest with 66 billion lost on our side, 77 lost on their side. We killed 2 minnows, we killed a bunch of their drum bridge. We didn't get the high up timer. It went all the way down to 4% for the defender, but there was a little bit of mix up and they managed to turn the tide at the last minute, but that push was a significant push. So yeah, I mean, these fights are really cool. If you enjoy like the large fleet battle, the reality of it is, from either side, sometimes you get blue ball, sometimes you get forces like this that are in large enough number that they will commit to or a large enough objective that the forces will commit to fight, and then you get these huge fleet battle that's what Eve is all about in my mind. So these are fun. So I mean, it's a tie-dye fest, so I guess they might get hold after a while, but I mean, you feel like when you're at these types of battle, you feel like you're kind of part of Eve history or something. Anyway, so that was one huge battle like 5 days ago. Another big one for Wrecking Crew is we just went, there wasn't that many Wamp player because that wasn't ping super hard. It was just a content fleet, so only people that had nothing to do and wanted to go on the content fleet went there. We went to try to help Destiny's Call defend an Asbel. We didn't succeed in defending them, but that was a pretty cool fight. I wanted to show, because I don't want to show only the stuff that succeed. We did went there and shot a few people from snuffed out, and Wrecking Crew did lose a little bit of ship, but it was mostly like a third party intervention to try to get some kills. So we get these types of thing, and these aren't necessarily pinged hard as a coalition. They're pinged as content fleet, so people can go and just participate if they want to go fight that day, and if they want to do something else, or they prefer to crab that night because they need the money or whatever, they can do that too. So there's ping up where we'll get CTA and be there. We really need you, and this is like, okay, be there for fun. And again, we do some of these Wamp only fleet because there's always people that are trying to come into our space and do a little stuff, do something, and we will undock and fight them. And so again, small gang stuff like that, like we'll just flash form and fight people that are coming in our space. We do these things, like that's a regular occurrence. Again, if you want the details, just check out our kill board. But that's pretty much it. It wasn't like a real like on the whole if you want to say war front, it's pretty, again, stalemate when they push in, stalemate when we push their way. Lots of cool fight, some blue balls too. So you can see that, yeah, that's it. No big change there. Again, we'll see how the battle evolve in the next few weeks. So that's pretty much it for the war side. Industry, again, not much change this week. We keep chugging along and doing our industrial stuff. Not much to add there. There's no big change in that area. It's just basically people producing, and I'm not micromanaging what people are producing. Initially, when I started the game, I was like, my idea of an industrial corp was to like have a lot of big factory and run production on a large scale, like and even probably at a corp level. It's very, very hard to manage, and the margin are so thin that if you start to run that as a corp level, what you end up basically taking part of the profit from your industrial player, and the margins are already very, very thin, and a single player can easily manage his production chain at all. So what our approach now, which makes a lot more sense based on the way the game works, is to actually have a good production infrastructure available to our player at a good enough price so that they can make a profit, which is what we do now. So we got a good industrial groundwork for the people to use and profit for them, but there's no real point in starting to micromanage all their stuff and everything. If we do need, like, let's say you need 100 Serb, then I will not micromanage it at the corp level, but we'll probably like dispatch the order and say, okay, we need 100 Serbs with whatever stuff there is in there, and whatever gear, and people will spread the order between themselves on our industry Discord. But that's pretty much it. The rest, there's no real point in managing industry centralized. We used to do it. We used to make a little bit of money, and what we used to do, like when we were in Becke, was have mining ORP at the corp level, and people would donate mineral to the corp, and we would turn that mineral into a ship. So we would just increase the value by doing profit by themselves. But it was basically me and a few officers using our build slot to add value, not really like the corp like buying stuff and producing on a large scale and coordinating everything there. So anyway, that's pretty much what I have to say for industry at that point. Again, this week was not that much. We do have our objective to eventually anchor an Asbel on our side, and to regain the ability to produce cap locally in pocket. It's gonna come in a not know exactly when, but it is a plan in the work, and we're working toward that. But we're not ready to anchor that just yet. So it's gonna happen in the not so distant future. That's pretty much it. It wasn't, like I said, it wasn't a really super busy week. What I'm what I'm doing with the Tanak. Well, I got like a bunch of extra skill point from the event and stuff like that. And the rest I'm training again, completing my training queue for my Thanatos. I did inject in some Logi skill because I needed to be a Logi pilot to rep a boss once this week. So I can fly a simi now. I'm not good at it, but I can fly it at a decent level. But again, I'm working mostly toward like just completing my skill, my training queue for a carrier. Again, it's not super smart to do it the way I do it because you want a cap alt and not a cap main. But I kind of committed myself to play only one account, and I'm gonna follow that through till the end. You'll not see me play Eve having multiple Omega account. That's not just something I don't want to go that route. I am at the core ribbon. I'm like I'm not a hardcore player. I'm not a casual player either because I do play a significant amount of time. Like if you look at my Steam, I got a shit ton of hour in Eve, but I do like I'm like more the kind of guy that plays like 2-3 hours every day, and but I don't want to be like running multiple accounts like this or a skill farm or multiple alt. I just don't enjoy that type of gameplay in any game, not just Eve. So I do train my main as a cap pilot, which is I might get to use it less. We'll see how it goes, but that's the way I play the game my way. And I've always been like that. So anyway, that's pretty much it for this week. Hope you guys enjoy, and if you got any question, any comment, just ask. If you're interested in joining, check the corp description. There's a link to our public Discord. Well, see you guys next week. Bye bye.